Ladies and gentlemen, April 30th, 1975. It has been exactly 41 years. I was just a little child myself. As of the same as all my friends, my colleagues that serve in the community now today, we do not have much of memory of the war, but we are the living proofs of the aftermath after the Vietnamese communist took over the country. Our fathers, mothers, uncles were imprisoned in those called re-education camp, which is another term of hard labor prisons throughout the country that imprisoned to retaliate against about 1 million people that serve in South Vietnam government and military in different capacities without any trial nor sentences. Most of them died. In these prisons, those fortunate surviving it likely come home to a broken home or no home at all. What they're to come home for? When 1 million of us, the Vietnamese people, from all ages, from all walks of life, we escaped the country that governed by the communists. Millions of our Vietnamese people escaped by boat. Across the border, through the jungles, 1 million had died on their way to freedom. Millions of civilians have voted for freedom with their own life. Until now, there are people who try to escape to Vietnam. Just you know how hard it is. Freedom, that is what this country, US, stand for. Today, we commemorate the sacrifice of the American allies, the Vietnamese military men and women that fought and defend for the freedom up to 1975 Vietnam. We commemorate the sacrifices of all the mothers, the wives, and the husband of all political prisoners, prisoner of conscience in Vietnam and in the world. We share our deepest sympathy with all of those who lost their family and loved one in prisons at sea, in the jungle on their way to searching for freedom. We share our deepest concern with 90 million Vietnamese people that are still suffering under the control of the Communist Party in Vietnam, China, North Korea, and Cuba. Today, we denounce the war crime of the Vietnamese communists against the humanity in the Thân offensive 1968. The Vietnamese communists have buried alive about 3,000 of Vietnamese women, children, and elderly people. We denounce the crime against the humanitarian for using military police force to keep the party as a ruling party in Vietnam. We denounce the crime that all the leaders of the Communist Party in Vietnam are corrupted, brutally abuse basic human rights activists for daring to speak up the truth. We call for unity among all our Vietnamese people from all over the world and in Vietnam to stand together to peacefully vacate the Vietnamese Communist government. Together, we will liberate Vietnam from being one of the most countries with poor human rights, track records, highly polluted, least desirable to live in. We are calling for the international public to stand up for the truth of what the Vietnamese communists really are all about. We are calling for the American public to return the way overdue honors to our deceased living Vietnam vet alike, to honor them as our true heroes. They were in the frontline defenders from the invasion of the communists spreading along the Vietnamese servicemen and women. As the president of the Vietnamese community of Massachusetts, I am honored to be here to speak on behalf of our community. And I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to our Vietnam veterans for your service, your sacrifices in Vietnam. And thank you, America, for opening the door to us and still supporting us, as well as many other Americans, to continue to fight for freedom, human rights in all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, united we stand. Divided we fall. Let's stand together in one nation under God, indivisibly, with liberty and justice for all. May God bless you all. Kính thưa quý vị, Trưởng Thượng, quý vị bà con cô chú bác và quý đồng hương, khi mà chiến tranh kết thúc, chúng tôi còn rất là nhỏ để hiểu được chiến tranh của Việt Nam chúng ta đã mất mát và đau khổ như thế nào. Ngày hôm nay chúng ta có mặt tại đây là chúng ta tưởng niệm những anh hùng vì quốc công thân, những người đã nằm xuống để cho chúng ta còn sống còn ngày hôm nay. Kính thưa quý vị, chúng ta đứng tại đây trong một bầu trời tự do, một đất nước gọi là giàu có và tự do nhất trên thế giới. Kính thưa quý vị, chúng ta nghĩ gì? Chúng ta nghĩ đến những người cô chú bác đã bỏ phần thân thể mình hoặc là đã mất đi để hy sinh cho tự do. Họ có chết đi để đại đổi đến tự do cho chúng ta. Chúng ta còn ở đây, tại sao chúng ta không ôm nhau, yêu thương nhau và cùng làm việc với nhau để chiến đấu cho một cái Việt Nam có đầy tự do dân chủ? Chúng tôi là những người hậu vệ, được quý vị cô chú bác yêu thương, đưa đường dẫn lối để chúng tôi tiếp nối nghiệp của quý vị cô chú bác. Mong rằng quý vị cô chú bác hãy có lại chúng tôi giống như những người mà đang tiếp nối quý vị vào 20 năm trước, 30 năm trước quý vị đang làm, để chúng ta mãi mãi có sự yêu thương lẫn nhau và đoàn kết với nhau để làm những cái việc gì có lợi cho dân tộc và quê hương chúng ta. Xin cảm ơn quý vị.